Hi, welcome back to Budget with Bianca. I'm Bianca. Today I want to go through all my YNAB categories, and I'm also going to update things for 2025. When I'm filming this, it is the very end of December, so let's go ahead and get started. I have YNAB opened here, and I did fast forward into January so that this will be current when January rolls around. So let's go through all of my categories. Actually, this video was inspired by the YNAB Budget Nerds episodes that they've done where they have guests come on and review their categories, and I have been really inspired by the people that have been on that show. I'll link a few of my favorites down below. So I wanted to do one of my own. So the first category that I have is called Rule 4. And this just holds one small category next month. This is just a holding category for me. So any money that we receive during the month when I'm not ready to budget it, it goes into that next month category. So nothing too exciting here. And then we have frequent expenses. So these are things that we budget from or utilize more than every month. So that's why they're called frequent expenses. So we have daycare. So my daughter goes to daycare. And while I'm going through these, I am going to see if I want to update them. I think daycare we're going to keep the same. My mom has graciously agreed to watch my daughter 3 days a week instead of 2 days a week. So she'll only need to go to daycare twice a week now. So we're going to be spending a little bit less, which is great. And so I have it to refill up to $600 each month. I think that's fine for now. I'll leave that alone. We have dining out, which I'm going to leave at $150. We have gas for our car, which that one I will update. The nice thing about YNAB is that it shows you what you've spent in the average in the 3 months and then overall for YNAB. So my average 3-month spending is $251. So I'm going to go ahead and update my target to $250. And I want to refill up to that so that if there's any money left over from the previous month, it counts towards that. All right, moving on to groceries. I did recently update this to $550, and I think I'm going to leave it there. Household goods, we are going to update. So household goods for us is anything that we buy like for our house, paper towels, trash bags, toilet paper, Kleenex, those kinds of things. And my average spent is about $100, so I just am going to update it to $100. Because what I'm finding is I'm having to move money around to cover expenses in a lot of these categories that I'm about to change. So I want to, in 2025, not have to do that as much. And then Nick's spending money, my husband's spending money, will keep the same. So that is our frequent expenses. Moving on to quality of life. So these are things that bring us joy. The first thing I have is baby activities and toys. So my daughter is just about to be a year old. So I want to be able to buy her, not toys per se, but crafts and activities that she can do. So I'm going to keep that there. Date night will stay at 75. Family activities will stay at 20. So family activities for us would be things like going to the zoo with my husband and my daughter, or going to the park if we need to pay for that. So those kinds of activities. Family photos we do once a year, so it was about $270 last year and well worth every penny. So I have that to set aside by October of next year, which is when I like to take our family photos because it's beautiful where we live in October. Hosting we'll keep at 10. Love Every subscription is my daughter's toy subscription. That will renew in November of 2025, and it's going to be about $500, so I have that going. Monthly cleaning service, I'm actually going to hide for now. I have not funded it since I created my YNAB about 4 months ago, so I think it's time to let this one go for a little bit. When I need it, I'll pull it back. All right, and then PlayStation subscription, that's good. So that's our quality of life. Then we have travel. So we do have several trips coming up this year. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is hide next trip because we do have so many trips coming up. I don't need this holding category right now, so I am going to hide it. If I ever don't have any trips planned, which I really doubt would happen for us, then I'll bring this back up and it can act as a holding category again. All right, so I have a little bit of money in ski weekend. My husband and I just had a conversation, and we do potentially want to go skiing, maybe in February or March. So I'm going to start collecting money for that. Sorry, that was my dog. And so we came up with a little bit of money so that we can start building that up. Then I have our my 2025 May trip for a bachelorette party. We have our June trip for a wedding, our August trip for a wedding, and then we're hoping to go to Banff in September. And then I am going to go ahead and hide the 2028 10-year anniversary trip and the Disney family trip. I just want to clean up the budget so that there's not as many categories being shown. So that is our travel category. And the way I have my budget organized for me is the things that I pull from the most, which is our frequent expenses, followed by things that matter to me the most. So that's why quality of life and travel and true expenses are up top, because those are things I care about. All right, next comes our true expenses. So this is a big category for me. We have first my ACCP membership dues. This is a pharmacy organization that I'm a member of that I have to participate in. So that just has its own category. We have auto maintenance, which is a big category for us that I'd like to fill up a lot. Right now, I only have $25 a month going to it, but I do eventually want to build that up to at least, $3,000 or $5,000. We do have newer cars, luckily, so we hopefully won't be spending too much out of them besides, hopefully some tune-ups that are needed. Then I have baby supplies, and that is one that I am going to adjust. So right now we only buy like diapers and wipes for her because I'm still breastfeeding, and then she eats what we eat. So I'm not buying like anything extra, but it still comes out to be like our average spent over the past 3 months was 106. So I think I'm going to up this to 100 each month, just because I feel like I'm pulling money to cover things in this category a lot. All right, our car tag renewal will stay the same. That's just something we have to do every 2 years. I think I have it renewing. Clothing, I think I'll keep the same, although it did say that my average spent over the past 3 months was $517, but I think that was because earlier on when we first started using YNAB, we went shopping for clothes, my husband and I, and we bought a lot of things. And so I think this is a little falsely elevated. Okay, then I have our dog's boarding, which doesn't have a recurring target. It just has an eventual balance. And that's because we don't really board him very often. If my husband and I go out, like if we go away to visit my in-laws or on vacation, my parents typically watch him. The only time we would ever need this is if we went on vacation with my parents, which we don't have any of that planned this year right now. Then I have my dog's grooming and his medication. He gets Cytopoint every 8-ish weeks, and that is about $109 every 2 months. So then dental or dentist, medical, and medication are actually just categories that do not have targets assigned to them. They are more like tracking categories. We do have an FSA that we put money in from my paycheck every single month, and I have a target of I think 800 for 2025 for the year. So instead of putting money in here, which we would spend from our FSA, if we need to have something reimbursed, like if we buy an over-the-counter medication that we're going to get reimbursed through our FSA, I would just put it in medication, and that would help me track to make sure that it does get reimbursed. So those are those 3 categories. Then I have our driver's license renewal, our estate planning, which I don't know what the bill will be. I just have $800. I think that's roughly what it should be. Then we have Fresh Fork. So this is a local reverse CSA in our area that we do every summer. So we sign up in March. It starts early May. And basically we get an entire box of locally grown fruits and vegetables, pasture raised and organic meats, and dairy products and eggs. So it is well worth the money. It is expensive. It's $795. But to me, it's worth every single penny, because if we break it down from May to November, it only comes out to be about $30 a week for all of our produce, basically, except for maybe some fruit. We buy eggs and milk and yogurt at the store, and that's it. So it is beyond worth it, in my opinion. And it helps us eat super healthy. Then I have garden and lawn maintenance and home furnishing. So this would be like a new couch. That's why I have the couch emoji, or a rug, things that are more durable, you could say, instead of like household goods, which would be like toilet paper that we go through pretty regularly. Then I have home maintenance, and this is another category that we need to build up quite a bit. I mean, I think you're supposed to have at least 1% of your home's value set aside for home maintenance. That would be well over $3,000 for us. So slowly but surely we'll build it up. And then I have new roof, which again, we do need to build up to about 15,000, which is a lot of money. So in the new year, my husband and I will sit down and talk about how we want to deal with this and how we want to set money aside for this. Same thing with new tires and next car. So like I said, our cars are pretty new. Mine's a 2020, my husband's is a 2021. So I'm hoping we get, at least 10 years out of them, if not more. So, slowly but surely we'll keep setting money aside, and we'll go from there. Then I have oil change. We just got our oils changed, both of us, so we won't need to do this for at least another 6 months or so. And then passport renewal. Personal care, I think, is what I'm going to increase. Yeah, my average spent was about $40. So I think I'm going to change it to that. So this covers like shampoo, conditioner, my husband's haircuts, things like that. Poison ivy treatment is a category I just added. So in our backyard, we do have poison ivy, and we got it sprayed last year by a local company, and they sent us a reminder that it can auto renew if we would like it to, which we do want to get it sprayed, because by the time summer rolls around, our daughter will be about 18 months, and I'm sure she's going to be running around out back. So I want to make sure that she doesn't run into any poison ivy. So they gave us a bill, or an estimated bill, and it's going to be $186. So I have that to build up by June 1st. Then Sweet Kittles is the daycare that my daughter goes to, and they do charge a membership fee. So I have that set aside. I have technology, which would be like, anything with our phones or computers, AirPods or Apple Watches, things like that, which I would also like to build up. It won't need as much, but maybe like $1,000 in there, just in case something breaks or we want to replace our phone when it comes time. And then we have tolls and our TSA pre-check. I actually just lowered because we just got the United Explorer card, which gives you $120 for either TSA pre-check or global entry. And I think so right now we both have TSA pre-check, my husband and I, but I think we want to get global entry. So I'm setting aside $50, knowing that 120 of it will be covered. And then I have to check how much global entry is. I'm not sure. If I need to, I'll update it later. That won't be for a while, because our pre-checks won't expire for another 4 years. And that is our true expenses. So quite a big category. Okay, next we have celebrations. So the first one I have is baby showers. And I do actually know, I think in a previous video I said I don't know anyone that's pregnant. Well, turns out 2 of my coworkers are pregnant. So we will have a baby shower probably in the summer. And then I have my birthday, my daughter's birthday, family birthdays. So, for all my family members and my husband's family members, general gift giving, Hanukkah, which will be at the end of 2025. That's what I'm saving for. I didn't do anything for 2024 just because my daughter's really young and she won't understand. But by next Hanukkah, she'll be about 2. So she will understand. And I want to get her just a couple little things. So I don't have a very big target. It's just $50 just for little presents here and there. Maybe get a new menorah. I'm not sure. We'll see. And then holiday shenanigans is our kind of celebratory catch-all. If you have ever watched a Heard It From Hannah video, she had a whole video on planning for celebrations, and I really liked the idea of having this like catch-all category. So like anything for 4th of July or Halloween candy, whatever you want. Then I have my husband's birthday. I have wedding gifts. So like you saw, we have at least 2 weddings next year for 2025. So we will need to save up. I think I have it. Yeah, $200. So we typically give $100 per couple. And then I have wedding participation because I am going to be in one of the weddings. So I will need to buy a dress, get my hair and makeup done when I'm there. So I want to have money set aside for that. And then winter holidays. It is still December when I'm filming this. So we haven't bought all of our Christmas presents. Oops. So I still have money here, but come January, this will be spent down to 0 and it'll have us put aside, $100. No. We're going to do $300. Yeah, that sounds better. All right, perfect. All right, excellent. So that will be better. Okay. So yeah, this will be spent down to 0 by the time January rolls around, and then it'll have me build back up to 300. So that's our celebrations. And next I have long-term goals. So this eye surgery, I would love done, but it's not in the cards right now. So I think I am actually going to go hide this category, which makes me really sad, but I can always bring it back when we're ready. And then I have my daughter's savings fund. So right now we're saving $1 for every week that she is old. Since she's less than 1 right now, we've been saving $1 and we'll continue saving $1 in 2025. And then when she's 2, we'll save $2 and so on and so forth. And I have my fun money category just separated out from my husband's because I like to be a little bit more granular. So I have like my haircuts in here. So just so I can keep track of what I'm spending my money on. And then I have our bills category, which is also a pretty big one. I think, as you can see, my budget is very granular, and that's how I like it until I feel comfortable. And I feel like I've used YNAB for at least over a year, and I'm a little bit more familiar with our expenses, which not that I'm not familiar. I've been budgeting for many years, but not with YNAB. So until I feel like I know exactly where a lot of the bills money is going and our average spending for all of this, I will have it very granular, but I may want to collapse some categories in about a year. So we'll see. So, you could collapse a lot of the insurance categories or the auto categories together, for example, or the utilities. I just like to have them all separated out. That's just me. You do you. That's why you need a budget, and it's so flexible and you can do it however you want. So the first bill I have is our Amazon Prime subscription. So that's $139 a year, due in April. Then I have our auto insurance for our 2 cars. I have my life insurance. BPS is my continuing education credits that we have to do for my job. So I just pay $10 a month for that. This is my dog's food. And the reason it's in bills and not in true expenses is because we get this from Chewy. It's on like an auto renew. And so to me, it's more of a bill because I can't skip getting him food. But if we really needed to, he doesn't need to get groomed, every 6 weeks or every 3 months. He can wait a little bit if we really need to. So these are, to me, bills are things that will have to get charged every single month. So I guess, I could move our credit card annual fees to true expenses, but you can't really, because I could stop them at any time, but I'm not going to. So to me, these are all bills, even though they're not billed monthly. Then I have my Cooper's insurance, so my dog's insurance through Banfield. I have our Costco membership. I have our credit card annual fees. So again, we just got the United Explorer card and we also have a Chase Sapphire card. So both of those are $95 each year. But since we just got the United card, I have to have a balance of $190 by December of 2025. So I should be good with both of them with that balance. Then I have my daughter's life insurance, her 529 plan, our electricity bill, our gas and heating bill, Google Photos, which I get for storage because I take a lot of pictures of my daughter, duh. Then I have our HOA, our internet bill, our liability insurance, or my liability insurance, excuse me, our long-term care insurance, which if you have not looked into long-term care insurance, I would highly recommend that you look into it either potentially through your employer, which is where I got mine from, or outside of that. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but for us, it felt like it was necessary for us to get long-term care insurance. Then I have our mortgage, which does include our home insurance, and our mortgage is currently in escrow. So our property taxes are all rolled up into that one mortgage payment. Then I have music, which is just Spotify. My husband's life insurance, our phone bill, our security system for our house, sewage, which is billed every 3 months in my city, Thrive Market, which is an annual subscription. I think it's about $60. Yeah, $60 a year, and that renews in April. I'm not sure if I'm going to renew that. We'll see. I have our TV, which we do YouTube TV and Disney Plus. Yeah, so I have two upcoming. Yeah, so this is for YouTube TV and then Disney Plus, which I like the upcoming transactions because I can see exactly what's coming up. And then I have our water bill and then our YNAB subscription. And that's our bills. So we're almost at the end here. One of the last categories I have is loans. So I have our My Auto loan. My husband's car we bought in cash in May, so we only have one auto loan right now. Then I have my student loans, and then my husband has two student loans. And then I do have this extra debt payment category, so eventually I would like to put more towards our debt. So I have it set for $1,000. That might change in January, but I'll make sure to make a video on it if it does, explaining how we are planning on paying off our loans, specifically our student loans. And then I have an other category. So this holds our RETA taxes. So RETA is our city taxes, which I've been talking about this since I started making videos in November. But I decided that we're going to file our taxes in January, and I'm positive we're going to owe RETA taxes for 2024. So instead of sending each check individually, I'm just going to give them all three checks with all three returns in 2024, and they can just deal with it. So I have money just waiting for it to be sent to the city to pay for that. Which, speaking of, I should probably add a RETA 2024 category. And I'll put the emoji on later. So I don't know how much it's going to be, but when I know, I'll put a target on it. And then this reimbursement holding category is just that. So when I went on my work trip, I put everything that I spent that I knew that was going to be reimbursed right into there. And it helped me keep track of everything that I needed to submit receipt-wise for reimbursement. And then miscellaneous is just, I forgot about it. And I don't even have a target on it because we don't use it very often, which is my goal. I don't ever want to have a miscellaneous category, but sometimes there are things that I truly just don't know where to put them. So that's where those go. And that's my other category. And coming up, one of the last ones is Nick State Farm Agency. So my husband does work for State Farm. He is on track to open his own agency, but before he does that, he needs to take exams, and that's what these three categories are for, and then the exam fees to actually sit and take the exam. So we talked, and we are going to start budgeting for this again in January. He already bought one of them that he's studying for right now. So the rest of the three he will get done in 2025. And then comes my wish farm. So I have a wish farm holding, but I think I am going to hide this too because I haven't been using it. And we have three things in our wish farm right now. So we have our LED lights that we want to get in the basement. I have $50 here for my daughter's closet makeover. We might not even need, I have 150 as a target, but we might not even need that much. We might just replace the shelves and the hanging rod, which would be super cheap. I mean, $50 might even cover that. So we'll see if I put more money in that or if we can just get it done. And then I would love to do brick edging in our garden. We did one side of our house with it, and we kind of replanted it. We got new hydrangea bushes, arborvitaes, and it turned out beautiful. And I'd like to do that everywhere in our garden, but that's going to be a lot. So that's why it's in our wish farm, and it's a large one. And I have our wish list, which is where we pull all of our wish farm items from. So, these are just the things that my husband and I would love to do one day, no set date, just have target amounts on them. And last but not least, if you have any credit cards that you use in YNAB, you will have a credit card payment category. So these are all of our credit cards that we have, which is a lot, I know. But the two we primarily use are the Sapphire, and then my Chase credit card I use. And then this BSF is where all of our insurance payments go through because we get a discount through State Farm for it. So that is that. And then I have all my hidden categories here so you can see. And that is all of my categories. So overall, including the wish farm and the wish list, I have 125 categories, which is a lot. But like I said, I like to be granular. It really helps me budget. And I think I'm going to keep it that way for a while, and we'll see. So that is all my categories and updated targets for 2025. I'm feeling really good about our budget. I'm really happy with how things have been going through the end of 2024. So we started budgeting with YNAB at the very end of August of 2024. And in that time, we have gotten off the credit card float. We've gotten basically a month ahead. Our age of money says 32 days, but I'm not fully a month ahead right now. But that is one of our goals. If you watched our financial success roadmap video, that is one of my upcoming goals for 2025. So I'm excited to work towards that and just see where this next year takes us. Let me know how many categories you have below and if I'm missing any that you think of, or if you have any unique categories that you want to share. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.